right into the action. See how things are going to be going down this time around on Vikendi. Let's go. Playing path going to be going straight in half the map. All over from the areas towards Hot Spring Contra. All over up northwest towards Port.
Now, we do know that Vikendi has a tendency to give us a phase 1 circle that's 50% water. I've had that so much. I know you've had that so much. I wonder, is it going to be the same in these scrims? I hope not, because I absolutely love Vikendi, and I know having 50% water in phase 1 does hamper the way the teams rotate. And I want a nice clean middle of the map circle, so to speak, to help things off. And look at that. It's not quite the middle, but it's a pretty damn good start.
Hey, I'll take it. Like, you got like 1% water in that.
Yeah.
Like, I am genuinely happy. Like, actually, a few days ago, I got my first game of Vikendi of the past like 2 months where I actually did not have any water involved. So you know what? I think the caster curse is broken. I think we were able to escape from that, but we're going to go on actually... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, Megastar's going to be doing Paradox on the roof there. Whoa. Okay, some really big boy action happening in the early stage versus, well, actually one team that is currently very low in the standings. That's going to be you level up. And they are hoping to take potentially a fight versus the other squads. They still got 4 players remaining on their side, and they picked up also 2 kills, which is, in the first few seconds of this game, they're way better performance they had so far.
Yeah, 110%. Volnova is definitely densely packed with players. You have BTR, they're on the eastern edge of Volnova, slash on the other side of the river, but definitely between Megastars, and you lose Encore coming in to at least get a nice knockdown with the I might add.
You have to just like emphasize the because, you know, we have like me and Imperium, we like to have a history of talking about how you pronounce the word. Is it UMP? Is it we all know who's right. Me. But there you go. That's completely okay. But the UMP still, you know, a really nice weapon. Did have a few changes in the last few months, but still people can play around, and it's still like a really good early game weapon.
I'm gonna ask the question in chat then. Do you guys do you pronounce it UMP or do you pronounce it That's what I'm kind of curious about in chat.
I think they're more intrigued with the gameplay now.
They don't care how it's pronounced. They're just going to get the job done with it if they have to. It's a weapon that they've needed to pick up in the early parts of this game just to get those couple of kills as they look to seek revenge until you lose, confirming that kill. It is a 3v3.
In Encore playing on the rooftops, you know, it's a little bit like playing around cliffs, really. If you're just on the lower side and you're just going on the sides of the walls of the building, you can't really get threatened by the high ground. It's just really good at giving information away. Over reload, but that's okay. I'm going to be panning over. Ooh, okay, to Team Secret. Winners of game 1. Chicken din on Erangel, fighting versus No Chance. No Chance lost, unfortunately. One member that was off Dales. Hopefully we'll be able to take that. But yeah, Team Secret also lost one. One member knocked away. There's Mad Toy. Mad Toy was like the playmaker, I would even say, of the team so far. Yeah. Unfortunately, get him knocked away. Not really in the spot to get res back up. This is really tricky. Oh my god, godless. 1 pixel. Sprayed down with a really good spray on the Uzi without even a red dot to go for. There you go. That's going to be potentially the end of the opposing side. He's going to be left alone. They go for the spray. They're going to try and breach the building. Ireshot trying his very best. He does get the knockdown onto Heineken, but unfortunately will be very shortly lived. No chance. They're going to be taken down. One of the top teams in the standings, actually second position team so far in the standings, as we saw earlier. Great job from them.
Wow, 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row, Team Secret have gone out early on in this game after what was a fantastic game 1 result of a chicken dinner. That's, again, not trying to plant the seeds, but that inconsistency, that do or die, that either strong result or bad result. Will we see that in the World League East from Team Secret? But once again, No Chance team proving their worth in this PUBG Mobile World League.
There's Megastars. They want a piece of the cake. Jangan going to be the next focus. They're going to go in the exact same building. He's going to be... Oh my god, he's not going to be peeking out just yet. Went for the last opportunity. Gets one. Can he get the second knock? Oh, I got to say, he waited the perfect amount of time. But unfortunately, will not be rewarded heavily. Only 1 knockdown going his way. And the rest of his team is just completely running away. If they were like closer to the tether, they could have worked out. But like, yeah, they just unfortunately were so spread. Megastars playing together, breached at the same time. It was well executed for them.
And can we also just talk about how well synergized Megastars were? 3 players coming into that building, right? You know, and I think when you're hanging around Volnova and inside the city, I do think it's very important to stay inside those buildings. But talking about staying inside those buildings, Rail has been knocked down outside of that building at the hands of a box.
Another god like this is definitely we want to see them perform, you know. I think this is like actually their first games that they're doing on like on a live broadcast on PUBG Mobile Esports since their pickup by Nova.
I believe so.
You know what? We want to see a statement from them. Also, maybe they don't want to, like, reveal their new game plan, their new mastermind plan going into the World League. So definitely they might be hiding a few tricks up their sleeve that they want to reveal just yet. But still, we want to see some big kill counts from Nova. Nova Godlike, as here it is. Box Gaming going to be sending one member forward. That's going to be Louis. Not Luigi. I would love to do the imitation, but I'm going to keep that for another broadcast. I don't think here's the time or the place.
And here's the thing, like, what I'm, in my eyes, you know, with Godlike, as this fight's kind of going on, they're the kind of team where they don't really show off. They'll just get results when it's needed. So I'm not expecting a huge show-off type of game for them, but Cronton's going to try and do his best to hold on, but the pressure from Box is just too much.
I mean, this is what I want to see. This is how you breach a building. I see so many mistakes from some teams, even like tier 1 teams sometimes. They just like breach one by one. They get absolutely denied the compound breach. And there, even though it was upstairs, they went just all at the exact same time. They got like 3 knockdowns because of that. And now they're just going to be Nova Godlike just moving away. And with only 1 player remaining. So definitely 1 player remaining is not really a playmaker move if you are playing on a map such as Vikendi. Snakes don't really live in the cold, so that will be definitely a really hard attempt for Nova Godlike to make things happen on this 3rd game.
It's not over till it's over in this game for your team, right? Nova Godlike still has a player left standing, but Boxer is just going to look to try and recover. Yeah, Loy is on his own. I don't like that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
You know, that was always a bit of a risk, especially coming in on a vehicle where you're going to be heard sooner than you're going to hear the opposing player. But as he looks to get on towards the higher ground, just overlooking the last player of Nova Godlike, can he at least prove to be fruitious on his hunt to get the last player?
And definitely, as you said, like, right, that car is bringing a lot of attention to him. And they still got a full team. Why are they not committing a two-man push? Really, that would just secure it. And if a member does get knocked away, can get res back up. It just makes it a lot easier, and you do get the man advantage back in their side. Because I'm sure they can do quick math. They know they shut down 3 members. They know one escaped. They know exactly where he escaped. They should just get overwhelming with, like, man advantage. That's, like, the better way to play it. But definitely Box Gaming, at least they're not pushing too far, not getting too overzealous, which at least is something that I like.
Yeah, no, of course, and we did see towards the end of that, Box did look to go a little bit closer to getting joined up with that player that was kind of looking for the last remaining member of Nova Godlike. But as King of Gamers become the bridge camper, so to speak, outside the circle against BTR. BTR did drop down towards the east side of Volnova. Will they be able to hold on inside the Zima? It's smoking up. Ryzen trying to heal up. Does indeed get a first aid kit off, and now he's going to get out of that building. He knew that was going to get blown up.
Exactly, so BTR, they're slowly getting cornered. I mean, there's so many no-can crannies held so far by King of Gamers. And BTR here, the only way they can deal with this is just, like, get some good peeks and peeking properly. Oh, that molly was pretty good. If that was a grenade, actually, and it was cooked properly, that could have actually had a huge impact onto BTR. They got 1 member knocked away. They're going to be committing 1 extra player, which is Concept, to get the res back onto Puffer. I got the impression that every time we see King of Gamers, it's always Puffer that's knocked away. Poor guy's getting cyberbullied at this point. Let him play some PUBG, please. God damn it.
Well, when you're looking at this, you know, I know Puffer's knocked down, but he should get revived up. If you really look at it, King of Gamers have BTR sandwich, and not just sandwich, but they have those 2 players up on the high ground, and they're absolutely shutting BTR down. And I believe it's just Ryzen left standing.
Oh, down to Ryzen. They just said last man standing, and they're slowly going to push because they know that they got the entirety of Bigetron shut down. Ryzen going to try his best, and in one shack. I mean, lucky enough for him, no, there's not really windows in which through he can throw those grenades, only the door up front. So at least he knows exactly where to come out. Actually, no, could chuck it in that small window back there. Going to be chucking a lot of utility. Some mollies in front to stop them from peeking too heavily. They're just going to be cornering up and himself right on top of his head. So this is just, they're going to, like, they should wait for the 2 other players to come out, really. From the top side and actually try and overwhelming as a 4v1. Because there's still a risk of it, like, going in favor of Ryzen, right? Especially with those smokes. The utility was good. Molly going to be inside the building. They want to force Ryzen out of the building right there. Fortunately, will not be taking any damage from that Molly, unfortunately, to no avail. King of Gamers slowly going to go for the push, going to go for the early spray in the smoke. Definitely really good use of Ryzen with the utility, as you have to say. Random spray once again with a red dot Uzi. Does get Boss Zessa pretty low. Once again, I gotta say, really good timing from Ryzen. He's playing really well around that utility, despite in a 1v4. Oh, grenade. That's gonna... Oh, no. He heard it. Ryzen gonna be in a bad spot. When it comes out, solo HP, one more bullet will be coming out from Boss, and there you have it. BTR eliminated, 13th position for them on this Vikendi game. They'll be going out the lobby really quickly on this one.
And honestly, of course I could have said that King of Gamers took too long, especially because they were outside the circle, but honestly I also like the fact that they did it at the end of the day take their time. I just fear that that's going to have a ripple effect where coming into the next circle, wherever it goes, if it shifts heavily away, hopefully we'll see on our sides, that could definitely have a huge negative impact on them getting into a safe spot into circles. We do see it in front of our very eyes. Because look at where King of Gamers are. Yeah, okay, they have a little bit of space coming into circle, but as it centers off quite nicely, it won't be too bad. But again, they will want to be careful on how they rotate into circle. Compound, heavy, Vikendi is, so at least that will have a bit of a benefit for them.
Obviously, you've seen also like two teams, Nova Godlike and also Box Gaming up north are out of circle currently. But it's phase 1, they can tank it up, and also there's so much room up north, and especially on the east, on the western side of the circle. It is so many entry points for them. So I'm not really scared for them whatsoever. Celts, though, again, pretty close to no chance. Going to go for some sprays, no chance. They got the high ground, but the compound is in favor of Celts. So really, this is a fight. I would not recommend no chance to take on the long term. If they get a bunch of knockdowns, then you can commit. If they got cars, which unfortunately cars cannot yet see, but they get a tanky down. But still, committing like that as a 3v3 with one member knockdown on the opposing side, I would say you need a second knockdown to make it worthwhile and go for the breach, which as of yet, they just don't have.
Yeah, let's see if Celts can stave off the pressure. I'm emphasizing Celts just so I don't make that mistake again as a synergy to at least capture that nice little drop crate.
Also, like, no, a little bit of a comeback to the poll we did a little bit in the chat, right? No, how you said it, UMP, the everyone's writing that, like, UMP in full caps was like spaces between the letters. So that means, in my opinion, that I win the battle. So Imperium, you know what? There you have it. I win.
You know what? I think for that, I'm going to refer to it as UMP from now on.
Thank you.
If I ever refer to it as ump, you can give me a slap.
I mean, okay, that'll be like a very expensive flap having to get, like, you know, the plane ticket and everything. But I think worthwhile. I think stonks for me right there, definitely.
Well, you can have a notepad and go, okay, I own 1 slap, 2 slaps. You know,
and I owe you, yeah.
If you wish.
Okay.
But now it's Valdez. TSA Menti, nice grenade.
Ooh, okay.
Good God, shutting him down.
Yeah, definitely. That grenade was absolutely on point. After it was Clutch God moving a little bit too far forward and a bit overconfident against team of Val. Valdez Esport will go and get that flush onto Clutch God. Clutch God, like, he's the other player that I think is getting absolutely bullied out of the game. He's going to get flushed out. I mean, let him play some PUBG, please. TSM Entity, Jonathan very far to the side. Kind of making me a little bit unsure of what's going to be happening for TSM Entity. But you know what, Jonathan, he's got a position at which if they do try to breach directly in the building, they could get sandwiched up actually because of Jonathan. Jonathan, once again, I just mentioned it, right? He has an angle that can deny them from breaching this compound. And even though it is a risky position, if you play it off properly and peek, safely and respectfully, you can get things done. Now Martin going to go for the spray on Jonathan, going to rotate back with his Dacia into the compound because he gave his position away. He tried to go for that surprise shot. It didn't result in a knockdown. He's not going to get overzealous. He's not going to get overconfident. Back over to the rest of the team.
But here's the thing about TSM. I mentioned it before, right? They've had 2 games. First 2 games, they'd basically be down to 2 players by the middle of the game, and they're still in 5th place overall in standings. They've lost a player early on. They still have 3 up. I have no doubt that, look, you know, if they can at least stave off the pressure of Valmus Esports, then hey, great job. But sorry, Valdez, should I say? But otherwise, you know, they still have the compound that they can use to play around Valdez.
Circle phase 3 gonna be. Hey, you know what? These circle shifts are actually like they're so player friendly. I don't have to like every single time, pretty central. A little bit shift the lane up north, over to the east or the west, but like just very slightly, not too much of an issue. And I mentioned it right. The Box Gaming, they had like the entire north or even the western side of the circle to entry to get an entry point in, and easily done. Like they're easily gonna find a good position. There's so many compounds for them to pick from. I think that's completely fine for them. So you know, delayed rotations on Vikendi, I think they're fine to do as long as you're respectful and you just also scout properly.
What I do worry about this circle positioning so far, at least I know it's only phase 3, but that it is heading in a direction where it's going to be an open field with little compounds in play. That is always going to be a hard job to deal with. But as we did see, TSM Entity at least staving off the pressure, getting an initial knockdown onto Martin, but the revive did come through.
Okay, so Velmoth still looking. Nice shots there. Oh my god, they're showing their back to Velmoth, but no, so actually because of how they're rotating in that building, they're like guessing okay, they're not looking in that direction, actually focused on the rest of the team. They're going to go for the push. Arm Joan. And for Jonathan, Jonathan will be taking a 1v1. Jonathan comes out on top, will win the kill. That's an extra point over. 5th kill actually for TSM Entity. I was not expecting that such a high kill count. Here it is, but no, why are you going outside? That's such a risky play, Zedgod. Neo will be maybe following Sui's put extremely low, but why would they go out of the building?
I know. You've got the compound. Play the compound. Don't expose yourself like that. Jonathan's low on health. He's going on to 1v2. He gets knocked down.
Nah. It's just not going to happen for Jonathan. Unfortunately, it will be confirmed. Still got 3 players alive. Armjane was confirmed earlier by Jonathan, but now Neo could still make things happen in his favor because he's got that wall. He's in the open. They're going to have to push pretty heavily towards that compound. But are they going to fully commit? I think they will, knowing how Valtus Esports has been playing so far. They took situation and pushes that I did not think they could win. And they won them. You know, big respect to them. So they are definitely not going to be scared, even though it is TSM Entity. They're going to go straight for Neo to confirm the team squad wipeout.
Plus, they are playing around their surroundings really well, because even though they're out in the open, there's a lot of trees and rocks that they are using to their positional advantage. And of course, they've been helped by the fact that TSM Entity, they kind of go outside that compound. But at the end of the day, they put the pressure on. They haven't given room for TSM Entity to breathe. And they've just been slowly restricting the space. And talk about slowly restricting. Neo is on his own with his back against the wall inside this building, and the Valdez player is ready to strike.
And for the push, Neo, how will he react to this? On V3, and oh my god, gets absolutely lasered by Godard, and there you have it. Well, TSM Entity out in 11th, 10 teams will be now remaining. I mean, it was definitely, I liked how the start of the defense was coming out from TSM Entity, right? I think it was well executed. It's just, I think that they committed too heavily to that specific playstyle when they should have maybe adjusted a few times. And unfortunately, it will be the end for them. It's still great stuff coming out from Valdes Esports to earn himself an extra 4 kills on TSM Entity. Not sure what their kill count's at so far, but I think it's a pretty hefty kill count for them.
It is. It's looking pretty strong. And in fairness, TSM did go out with 5 kills. Credit to them.
True.
Now, as this fight goes on between King of Gamers and the one and only Synergy. Synergy did confirm a kill onto a member of King of Gamers, so it's at least a good controlling start in this team fight. But as the next circle does expose itself, it goes towards the northwest. There is still a few compounds in play, but that open field by around Freestyle Synergy and kind of King of Gamers is going to be risky if it stays in that direction.
Will I ever get my Dino Park finish? I mean, definitely a long time since I had a Dino Park finish. I would love to have one eventually. I mean, the one I really want is a castle finish, but that one, we all know is never going to happen. So I won't really just keep my hopes up. Yeah, once again, you know, Box Gaming playing very, very passively, just slowly lurking their way into the circle, playing the edge. I got to give respect also to Zist, right? Last member of Nova Godlike, just remaining. He might get gatekeeped a little bit of Valdes Esports, so hopefully that will not be going down for them. But here it is, King Gamers going for their push straight towards Freestyle. Freestyle going for the spray, putting the pressure down. It is now. Concept was already taken out. Boss, Braga, Puffer going to making it over to the building. They shut down BTR earlier. Now they're looking for another kill to shut down. But, oh, Freestyle, he's just going to be running away. And the high ground is going to be actually held by. Going to be Cindy. Oh, that's another fight. I was like, wait, is this the same fight?
Yeah,
no, this is a completely different one.
It's kind of 4 squads rotating around the area. You did see Celts get punished by Synergy, but now as Synergy has to be careful of both King of Gamers and, of course, Freestyle. It is a little bit of a rumble in the jungle, so to speak. That is Vikendi. As play is going to be coming out, is going to be behind the wall. But Bossa is just kind of looking to flank around to the side because he knows that there's a player there from Freestyle.
You got 4 teams in this location. You got Freestyle, Celts, you got yourself Synergy, you also got yourself the Gamers. Definitely some third parties could be happening over here, especially for Synergy, because they got a great high ground position, but it could get denied away by Celts. Let's see how they're going to be pushing there. They did get one member of Res back up. It's completely okay, but this fight is going to be very taken, like really, really taking its time, as no one really wants to get overzealous, especially in how good Freestyle can be responding against breaches. They did really good. It was on Sanhok, but then there was a third party of BTR that did shut them down. but hopefully Freestyle will be able to make something out of this.
King of Gamers, they did well to rotate away from Synergy after losing a player. And thinking of the late game, and I reckon that will pay off if they can continue and take down Freestyle in an effective manner to create that extra space. Of course, depending on where this next circle does shift up, will it go in the favor of these teams? It centers up quite nicely. Still, the north of Villa in play. Valdis looking pretty strong on the outskirts of it, but Box are also sitting pretty on the west side of this circle. Plenty of space to the southwest if they choose to go in that direction, but they are shifting up to that compound as a two-man team up towards the northwest side.
No chance they're going to be going through Villa. Going pretty good for them, but Synergy, once again, still on the high ground. They haven't moved just yet. There's no reason to. They're on the southeast section of the circle, and they got a good high ground. They also got visibility. They're scouting information on where they can rotate upon the next circle shifter, which will be phase 6 on the next time around. So definitely, I like how Synergy are playing around this, but I think that they should commit heavily to a 2-2 split rather than like a 3-1, which I think is a little bit off-putting. Now, Celts, a tanky going to be put down. Celts also very split. I think that these two teams are like, no, they got good positions, but I think they're not using it to its full capacity because of how they're splitting up their teams. And I think that definitely how they're doing it is not allowing them to get like maximal efficiency in these positions.
Definitely, in my opinion, Synergy needs to take the chance. I know they're a little bit more together now, but in my eyes, they want to be fully together and fully committed to take on a fight, whereas they do look just a little bit too separated. Another team I want to point out who've been a little bit quiet so far in the first 2 games is Team IND. Let's see if they can actually pull out a strong result, as they are still in the top 10. But as a knockdown comes through onto a member of Celts, Ultron will look to get revived behind that rock.
That'll be the case. The smoke is definitely going to be pretty helpful. One thing that's actually really good, right, is that they got rocks that's actually up north of them. So actually know that they're not going to get backstabbed. They can pull this res off with knowing that they're not going to get attacked from the northern side. So at least that is a little bit of like, a net of security for them. But I want to see Synergy. I still think they should try and go for it. They got knocked down sometimes, and they're not committing to it. And I think especially with like Austin being on the top of the mountain with that org, I think they could easily just apply the pressure, allow them to get the flushes down on those 2 members. They're not committing to it just yet. Tanky, they see it. They're going to go for a nade right behind Ultron. Put him down to about mid-health. Still, they're just very hesitant on both sides, respectively. A lot of respect coming up on both sides, like a mix of respect and fear, I would even say.
But here's the thing. This isn't helping any of these teams, because if you remember I mentioned King of Gamers, they're more closer towards the center of the circle. Because right now, these teams, they're inside the circle. They're kind of towards the edge. But if this next phase goes against them, these teams are going to be very heavily punished. You got to think a little bit more about the next phase, a little bit more against the late game. And just as I called it, it's just heavily away from them. And now this fight is outside the circle, and time is ticking before the blue zone starts closing in.
And I believe we just saw you level up again, actually taken out of this game. Fortunately for them, they'll be taken out in 10th position now. 9 teams within a circle actually shifting. 1 compound, dead center. I think Team IND might be the one to actually go for it. They already got a 1-player Slayer in the car. So they doge an intention of trying to get himself central circle. But a lot of teams going to be taking fights on the edge of the circle. Rotations will not be made easy this time around, Imperium, because some backstab could be definitely happening. A small molly going to be chucked over by a tanky. Fortunately, not going to be resulting in too much being actually done on Synergy. Maybe just forcing them back a little further. They can't pick on rocks too heavily. But this fight has been going on for like, what, 2 minutes now? We want to see a conclusion to this. Come on.
If anything longer, it's been going on for about 4 minutes overall. Of course, they are a little bit taking their time to destroy the beat, but still got a lot for the streets. And the streets being the snowy mountains of Vikendi.
There you go. Ted is going to go for the push 1-2, and there you have it. Rox is going to be still in the distance, but unfortunately so far away, you can't do res from a distance. It would be a cool feature to add maybe, but that is just not going to be going down for Rox. And he's just going to have to remain as a one-man army, just like Nova Godlike. Now back over to another fight that's been lasting for absolute decades at this point. It's going to be King of Gamers versus the Freestyle players. Still got a 4-man team, luckily enough for them, but they're trying to rotate in circle just like King of Gamers Club. And the compound, I thought it was going to be Team IND actually going for that position first, but no, it's going to be snatched away by King of Gamers Club, and they're going to have that position under control. Boss a little bit late on that rotation, but we'll make it very soon.
That could definitely favor King of Gamers, and I definitely love the fact King of Gamers are just being forward-thinking, and I mentioned it on the previous phase on how it's gone against Synergy and Celts, and it's favoring King of Gamers, and we're looking to do the same thing as No Chance Team are being engaged on by Synergy.
There you go, Synergy. They're going to get attacked. They're going to get pushed back by No Chance. No Chance doing some work I'm not expecting. They got focus on every single player. Survey with the Orc doing some work, but Godless is going to be left alone for No Chance. No Chance indeed for him. His Lucky Charm will not have any impact. And there you go, Synergy coming out on top. Still, 7 kills going over to the opposing side for No Chance, but that will be the end of the course for them. And now, wait. Got 7 teams. It's going so quick right now in PM. All the teams trying to rotate in, but there's only one compound to play for. This is King of Gamers game. Take for themselves.
Now, around the compound, there is quite a good few rocks and trees that players can play around. We've seen Valdez Esports coming in from the side of the road on the north side. Martin's going to take a little bit of damage. He will look to heal himself up. They are still a 3-man team. They do have the remaining player of Celts. Taking that blue zone tick damage will most likely lose his life unless he gets a heal off.
The Rocks, here it is, the last playoff Celts in the blue zone taking the tick damage. And it's such a delayed rate. Oh, there you go. Rocks will be taken out. I thought you could have potentially denied the kill by just dying to the blue zone, but it will be given over to Valdez Esports. Up to now, 8 kills. Going to go potentially for the double res on Godard and also on Velmoth. Hopefully that will be happening. But Martin's just so far away from those 2 players towards Villa that I don't think Martin can get anything done there. And because it's going to be still in the game, Martin going to be actually flanked from the side. Zixxy doing so much work over there in the distance. Martin's only got 1 more minutes before he has to push away from this location. I think this might actually, unfortunately, be the end of Valdez Esports in this game.
Zigzaw is doing such good work as a solo player. But of course, with the circle shifting up north in the last phase, Team IND, they're trying to get the work done. Slayer knocked down, so the revive will look to come through. Team IND recently added 420 OP, the former Umamba player, to their roster for this World League East.
Team IND able to get the pressure down, but still Freestyle is going to be down in the south. They're going to have to contest each other because the team that rotates first, the backstab could be happening, but one advantage that Team IND has so far is the man advantage. The res is still potentially coming out on both sides. I don't think they're going to be fully committing just yet. Some utility, some nades, some smoke, some mollies could be coming out to get some more of a good point of pressure on Freestyle. We saw actually a few explosions in the distance. Yeah, TSM. Sorry, no, Team IND, should I say. Going to be trying to go for the res on Kratos, but that's fine. Freestyle. Very spread, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't think they don't have the tools definitely so far to take the 5 versus Team IND. There's no way for them to do so.
I was thinking about like the circle ending in the field, but it shifted away from the field, and Freestyle looked to try and take control of the field in case it did end up in that direction. But now they're going to try and take on the side of Team IND.
Are still trying to take the fight. I talked about it right. The backstab could be happening if you rotate, and it's exactly what's going to be happening. There you go. Freestyle 1 kill potential on Kratos is going to be ticking down because of the blue zone. I think they could try and go for a little bit of utility, but Team IND, they know they can't trample off the rest, but now the building is putting pressure down on these players around the circle. And that's going to be, of course, King of Gamers Club. They are putting the pressure down. They're securing all the kills, but the last bullet will be thrown away. I believe it was by Team IND before going down themselves, and that was indeed the case. They shut down Freestyle, but Team IND also get taken out. 3 teams now remaining. Box Gaming. You also got Valdez Esports and also King of Gamers Club, which did make their way through. Oh, no, Louis, don't go for the car. That is way too risky.
And then we do lose the last remaining player of Valdez Esports. So it comes down to these 2 teams, the full squad of Box. And a 3-man team of King of Gamers. None of these teams are inside the circle. King Gamers have to disengage away from their compound. There's a couple of rocks and trees in play. It's going to be a matter of who takes the first push. Who is going to be the sacrificial lamb for their team, because you've got to bait out your opposing team. Of course, time's ticking down before the blue zone starts closing in. Of course, a little bit of a risky play. High risk, high reward could come to be fruitious for any of these teams.
Second remaining, the sprays will be coming out, but I think the Box Gaming, they have the better position so far. They're so spread, they've got so many angles. They're not quite in circle, but none of these teams are actually in circle on phase 8. I think that how Box Gaming can play around this, even though they lost one member, now it's going to be turned into a 3v3. The amount of map pressure they have is absolutely insane. They're going for the spray. Can they get one? No, they don't even get it. PMI gets confirmed, but Boss, that was a risky move, but actually pays off. I'm genuinely surprised he's still alive.
What did I say? High risk, high reward! High risk, high reward, but the grenade from Lloyd knocks him down. That's unfortunate, but that's what utility does to your game plan. Great play by Box. That's going to leave it down to a 4v2 as the smokes come out and King of Gamers try to hold on, but it's going to be too much, and Box Gaming come out on top.
It was already sealed, as I mentioned, Imperium, how that game was going to go. Box Gaming, they had just 4 angles. Sure, one player was knocked away and was confirmed slowly after. But at the end, even with Pwml dead, they had so many angles. And one rock was not going to be enough, right? You saw that grenade coming out absolutely flawlessly. The only way for them to make it out alive was to get the smokes through, which they did, but I think they did.